Ciao everyone, buon pomeriggio, good afternoon and welcome back to day number 4 here in beautiful Vieste. As you can see, we changed our office again. I mean, who tuned in already this morning saw the tow-in finals going on in Vieste downtown, and now we're actually back in Spiaggia Lunga. So with me in the studio, Mr. Adam Sims, Mr. Sandy Clunas. All right, guys.
Guys, how we doing?
All good, all good. Yes, how are you doing? How's everything over your side? Enjoyed the tow-in earlier?
Yeah, I mean, what a show that was. You know, I'm still, as I said, I've been on Instagram watching the highlights over and over again. You know, it was amazing to see something a bit different as well. You know, in terms of the winning maneuvers. You know, it's kind of moves we don't really see in tow-in. So yeah, it was an epic show, and hopefully we're looking forward to some more action this afternoon.
Oh yes, indeed. That's why we're actually back in Spiaggia Lunga, because Foilstyle, it's finally, fingers crossed, on its way. The wind is improving already. Tomorrow we're going to have the big bang with a very good forecast. Now it's improving. Foilstyle, it's on the way, and we're actually resailing heat number 8 with George and Micah.
Absolutely, yes. And actually they're just on the water behind us, warming up, getting in a few runs. We've seen them on a few gusts at the moment, and a little bit of a lull right now, but we've seen them actually do a few moves, so it was looking quite promising. So here they are on screen, the two again giving it another shot. George Grisley and Micah Hooverman there, both very similar in age. No stats because it is their first competition on the foil.
That's why we're even more excited to see them showing their potential, I would say, right? I mean, they're both amazing sailors. Obviously, shout out to Micah, sailing against the boys, competing against the boys. But I mean, she's an amazing sailor. She's a multiple champion. So, yeah, we're not surprised if she would pull off also a big show against some of the guys. So we're looking forward to see her.
Absolutely, their little classic low wind boomerang. So I guess with that, we'll see. Look, here's a lull in the wind at the moment. We've just seen a few things going on, but in the meantime, I think we can take a look back at what we might expect as those gusts come through, some of the moves, and with those highlights from 2023.
Welcome to day 4 here in Vieste. After a difficult morning of storms and rain, it looked like we weren't going to get any conditions really, and then within 5 or 10 minutes suddenly we had perfect foil style conditions, 15-16 knots, more windy than day 2, perfect to get started with the double elimination. With just 6 heats to run, we just needed the wind to last long enough for us to be able to get through and crown a champion of the foil style here in Vieste, and boy did we do that. Starting off, first notable mention, the young Brouwersdam ripper Tim Gerdes, managing to take out Jamie Howard, then go through the flying Frenchman Sam Steve before being stopped by none other than the most successful European freestyler of all time, Steven van Broekhoven. After that, Steven van Broekhoven up against Leonard Neubauer. Leonard, not a name you necessarily associate with foil style, but putting a stop to Steven's hopes of coming first and himself ending up in the final up against Mr. Yentel Cares. Ultimately, Yentel taking the victory, defending his title from the single elimination and taking the overall win for the foil style here in Vieste. With the success of this afternoon's wind, all eyes are turning to the final day tomorrow, and with a great forecast on the horizon, hopefully we are going to get out for some classic windsurf freestyle.
All right, and we are back, and I mean, hopefully we will see more of this within this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's looking like, from what we're looking at there, there are some people out there, they are up and foiling. Obviously, as Adam said, I think it is a little bit gusty still. It is the right direction for that thermal wind. But unfortunately, with the clouds being there, that is going to make it a little bit gustier. We can see some of the guys getting ready on the beach there. On your screen there, that is Micah Hooverman. She is up and flying. You can see a bit of pump in the sail, but, with the foils under the boards, they really don't need much wind to get up and going.
Exactly. I mean, there are only a couple of, I think more or less the last minute before the heat starts, and we can actually see both of the riders up in the foil, cruising around. It is actually quite breezy. I mean, obviously with the clouds like this, it makes it quite hard to see how windy it really is. We cannot see the caps, we cannot really see the gusts. So we really just have to focus on the riders. But they're both up on the foil, and it seems okay. It seems stable for the moment. So fingers crossed that the wind will stay with us.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, because it is a bit grey, and it's always the way with like the drones that we've got filming as well. Looking down, it never looks that windy. But let's take a little look at the elimination ladder. So currently, the heat we are going to is George Grisley up against Micah Hooverman. That is the bottom left of the draw. So the winner of that will later be going up against Yentel Cares in the next round. We managed to sail Tigo Core up against Dudu Levy a couple of days ago on day 2 of the event. Tigo Court taking the win and going through and will be up against Leonard Neubauer. George Grisley up against Micah Hooverman, and I believe that was the horn, so I think they are up and sailing now.
Exactly. Sandy, it's on. We're resailing heat number 8 from the other day. George Grisley versus Micah Hooverman. Both of them are new to this discipline, competing now also in foil style. So I'm very, very surprised how their winter training actually went and that they are able to put on the paper right now. Let's see.
Yeah, exactly. So I was in Brazil with George. Sort of October, November, December last year.
First foil Shaka coming in.
Yeah, didn't quite manage to get the rotation, but there will be a shove it. She will put the points on the board. George Grisley, nice Shaka there from George. That was what I was kind of saying just there. He was really working on that in Brazil in the lighter wind days, and he picked them up really, really quickly. He learned them within a day or two of trying them, and he said it's actually quite easy. As we see Micah Hooverman jibing around into switch. She seems to be changing her feet there. But yeah, wind's still looking a little bit light, but already putting some points on the board. George is still up flying on the foil. Going to be really interesting to see what he's got. He's still very new to all the foil style. I know he's been training it quite a bit. He spent some time in Tarifa recently. We jibing around as well. He actually said doing shakas is easier than jibing, would you believe?
I mean, that shaka was actually super high. It was very, very nice one. Stylish, clean, classic. I mean, shakas also just never get old. And I mean, seeing it also in foil style, I really like it personally. I think it's nice. So let's see what we get next from Micah. She's cruising out. Hopefully the wind will remain with us.
Yeah, absolutely. That Shaka for George coming in at 4.03. So putting together a nice score as we see Micah Hooverman, the downwind 360 into switch Kono, but just not enough power in the sail, That's something we can talk about from the tow-in earlier, the guys doing Scopus, those sort of switch Kono, Scopu kind of tricks, where you sort of push out with the sail and get boosted up into the air. Ideally, you want quite a bit of breeze to really push against that sail. In the foil style, it can be a difficult maneuver. I mean, it's definitely still possible, but maybe, as the wind picks up, we'll start seeing a bit more of them. But yeah, Mike Hooverman's for that one.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, as you just said, jibing on the foil actually is not easy at all, especially when you're on those way, way smaller freestyle boards. I mean, it's completely different story than being on a slalom, foil slalom board or one of the hydrofoil types of boards. That's definitely a different stability. And on those small freestyle boards, it's actually not easy at all. I mean, George is right on that.
Yeah, exactly. As something we were talking about with Yentel the other day, wasn't it? The nature of the equipment and how it's changed. You can see Micah Hooverman there on the Severn one, but they're really, really short boards. They've got they're loads of volume throughout the middle of them. Quite a bit of volume in the tail as well. As Micah Hooverman goes down again, she really wants that downwind 3 Kono. George Grisley going for that upwind burner, but he had the straps and go down. Difficult one there. Didn't quite manage to get the pop there on the burner.
I mean, I have the feeling that it's actually quite light for both of them. They both seem to struggle a little bit with that wind being very unpatchy and unstable, kinda. I mean, they're both giving their best and really trying it hard. Let's see how we will continue this heat. But I mean, there are more moves coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it'll be up to the judges ultimately, you know, whether they feel like it's fair. You know, you can see Micah there, not even up on the foil. You know, George didn't that burner. You know, I've seen him do that move plenty of times. So you know, he perhaps didn't quite have enough power and speed. So yeah, he'll be a bit frustrated with that one potentially. But also, you know, he's already done the Shaka, and ultimately, you know, we are in day 4 or 5 of this event. So you know, if there is a bit of wind, it's definitely good to get out there and try. And get this going, because it's crazy how light the wind needs to be in order for these guys to get going on this equipment. You know, like 10, 11 knots and above, you know, they're up and flying. So yeah, it really doesn't need much breeze at all.
Yeah, that is very true. I mean, that's one of the main things and one of the main advantages of foiling in general. And that's also obviously the case for the smaller foil style equipments. So yeah, you don't need a lot, but obviously the conditions should be the same for everyone and should be as fair as possible for everyone to really show the potential. Oh yes.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's needed.
And Mikey actually going for a Shaka.
Yeah, going for a Shaka on the other side. One of those riders, you know, she's really ambidextrous. She's got all the moves on both sides, and that definitely looks like it's translating into the foil style. As we see George Krause stepping into switch, so also something very difficult, but he will jibe out again. I'd say he probably just doesn't have enough power. So yeah, a little bit frustration for George. George, obviously a larger rider. I don't know, but perhaps you saw, Greta. Do you know what size sail George is on? I think it's a 4.8. I'm not sure whether he's got a 5.2 for this.
To be honest, I haven't seen personally. I will inform myself afterwards. But I think more or less it's the same what you just said. I also think that it's a 4.8, to be honest. We'll try to confirm that one.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a 5.2. Yeah. And Micah's looks even smaller. I think Micah maybe is on a 4.4. And, you know, this was something that Yentel talked about a lot. Oh, air flacker for George, but he will go down. Will he water start out? It's so difficult to water start out with the foil boards.
Yeah, that's very true.
Micah Hooverman there. I think she tried maybe another Shaka, but I'm not too sure. We just got the end of it. But yeah, you know, it's really difficult. Yentel was saying, you know, the other day, he was like, you kind of got to be able to do it on 5.2 as well in competition, you know. If the wind is a bit lighter, having that bigger sail. You know, we've seen it on the fin as well, like Leonard Neubauer in Bonaire over the last few months. Like, he's on 5.7 doing all the moves, you know. So it's definitely important to make sure that you're comfortable on that larger equipment as well.
Yeah, definitely. And we just saw a little ducky coming in from Micah. And now she's going out in switch, actually. Let's see what we get next. But yeah, still 3.5 minutes to go.
Oh, Micah goes down there, tries to duck the sail. So that's actually like the harder way of doing it. So there's kind of 3 different ways to get into that ducked back wind. So we saw Micah doing it earlier, you know, the kind of downwind 360 into it. And then we saw George doing like the upwind version. So like carving into the wind until you're backwinded and then jumping round. That's especially effective for the burners. And then there's the more traditional way of doing it that you would if you were on a fin under your board, and that's stepping into switch and then actually ducking the sail. So Micah going for that one, you know, she jibed round into switch, as you said, but then actually trying to duck the sail, you know, it can be quite difficult.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, also here, I think it's important to point out once again how important a proper clean landing is. Also here, a little bit like in tow-in, it's important to really land on the boards, to really land centric, and to make sure that the foil lands properly in the water again, because as soon as you're a little bit too much on the rails, you ultimately will crash. So also here, the landing is very, very important.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You know, and it is so difficult with the foil because naturally, like as you come down from a move, the foil has to go back down into the water, so it does kind of like disrupt the flow, essentially, if you will. So you know, it's very difficult. It's probably even more difficult to land moves like clean on the foil. But when it does happen, I gotta say, it does look really sick. Micah Hooverman coming around the downwind 3. I'd be interested to know if the carving moves are being scored.
Yeah, not sure about that, but it really seems like that is... Oh, and we're getting a front in from George.
Nice forward there from George, but yeah, again, really struggling with the landing, the water start. You can just tell that's a sign of how light the wind is. That he just can't seem to manage to get the power to kind of land the move and get all the way around.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we could clearly see
Yeah.
this also from Mikey. As soon as she was coming closer to the beach, it got even a little bit worse, to be honest, because here on the inside, obviously, there's less wind than on the outside. And that's maybe also one of the reasons why George pulled off the move already where he is right now.
Yeah, exactly. It will make a difference. But so just had word through as well. The carving maneuvers are being scored. So that's why you see Micah Hooverman is also putting some points on the board.
Yeah.
Interesting fact there. So Micah going for the shaka, but just doesn't quite manage to kind of get all of the foil out of the water, and that sort of gets the board doesn't get a chance to rotate because the tail wing of the foil is still kind of in the water there. Just needs a little bit more pop for those shakas.
Yeah, exactly,
George pumping.
exactly. And then we have the last 30 seconds of this heat coming up. George Grizzly on the outside. So let's see what we get next, if he will be able to pull up one last move, maybe in the last 20 seconds now.
Yeah, let's see what he's got. I mean, he's already put a good score down. Port tack, he hasn't managed to put any moves in, but managing to get a few moves on starboard tack, and that looks like it will see him through this heat. As we see him stepping into switch, what's he got? 5 seconds. Is he going to be able to put some points on the board?
And there we go. Time is over. This one won't be counting anymore. The last one won't be counting anymore because the judges just pulled up the horn. So that was it for heat number 8, George Grizzly versus Micah Hooverman. And it seems like George will be advancing into the next round. I mean, shout out to Micah, competing with the big boys. So that's amazing. And she actually did really the best she could, seeing the conditions.
Yeah, it's always difficult to run a mixed fleet. And Micah as well, kind of doing it to represent. She hasn't necessarily put that much time, or not that I know of anyway. I haven't had a chance to speak to her, but yeah, I don't think she's done that much foiling. So just to get out there and get stuck in is really great to see. Doing all 3 disciplines that we've had here in Vieste, the tow-in, now the foil style, and then hopefully tomorrow the fin windsurfing as well. Which of course anyone should be scared to go in the heat against Micah when there's a fin underneath their boards.
Exactly, and I mean, Micah, she's ripping no matter what and no matter against who. So she's just such an amazing sailor. And I mean, if she's able to pull off these maneuvers she just did without a lot of training, then imagine what she does with a lot of training,
Yeah, absolutely. So that will be George Grizzly going through into the next round. So he, I think, will be going up against Yentel Cares in Heat 12. So next Bodie Kempen up against Steven van Broekhoven. Steven van Broekhoven taking to the water for the first time. He was in for the tow-in yesterday, but then decided not to. We had a chat about it. We talked about it yesterday. He's just not super into the tow-in. He doesn't want to injure himself. I think he decided to save himself for the foil style. So I'm excited. Riders, he's really put a lot of time in on the foil. Finds it really exciting. I can't wait to see what he's going to pull out. And also a bit of a light wind specialist. And then of course Bodie Kempen as well. On your screens here, you are seeing the heat scores, a bit of the breakdown of the scores there for the previous heat. So George Grizzly up against Micah Hooverman. If you're interested.
Yeah, exactly. So this one more time, split it up in all the different moves. And George advanced into the next round. And we are getting ready for the next heat, Bodie versus Steven, as you just said, Sandy.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm very excited to see this one. Both of these riders have both put time in on the foil. Bodie, one of the guys who went out to Bonaire recently, I think it was Bodie, Tigo, and Leonard Neubauer. They spent a lot of time on the foil and were really, really improving. Leonard Neubauer especially just putting up some incredible clips on Instagram of him doing like these shifties, air bobs, all these different kind of moves. I'm excited to see that as we progress through the heats today.
Exactly, and it's on. So next heat is on, Bodie versus Steven. We just got the horn going off. So we're running and the guys are getting up, speeding, foiling. They both seem a little bit more powered up than in the previous heats, to be honest. So let's see what we get.
Yeah, absolutely. So on your screen now, with the orange gun sails, that is Steven van Broekhoven, gun sails and starboard. And then Bodie Kempen, he is on the full Severn equipment, so the same as what we saw Micah Hooverman earlier. So first move from Steven, as we see him ducking in regular, and there is a real nice culo from Steven.
Oh, wow.
I don't know whether that was before the heat went. I'm not too sure, but if I think that may have been right at the start of the heat. So yeah, that will be a counting maneuver.
Oh, yes. I mean, poof. He has a good start. Steven really wants it. He's going in full power and not wasting any minute of this heat.
A great way to start the heat. Absolutely. Bodie Kempen there looking like he's potentially struggling for a bit of power as we're just waiting for the scores to come through. You can see in the top left of your screen, you've got Bodie Kempen, Steven van Broekhoven side of the draw. As we see Bodie ducking the sail in regular as well. Let's see what he's got. Nice.
Oh,
Answers with a culo of his
wow.
own. Full rig flip.
Beautiful one. Wow, that one was super clean. I mean, Bodie, I think he's pretty much warmed up because this morning he finished third in the tow-in finals. So I think that gave him definitely a little motivational boost to go in full power in this one.
Yeah. Wow, nice air funnel there from Steven van Broekhoven. So adding more points to the heat score. That was a big air funnel there.
Just in front here of the crowd, in front of the beach. Nice one, Steven. I mean, he's just adding one after the other. And then we can see now on the screen Bodie going on the outside, cruising.
Bodie he'll make it round to Shaka, but not what he wanted. It looks like he'll dip in at the end. Still may get some points on the board for that, but definitely not what he wanted there. As we see Steven van Broekhoven up on the screens. Currently looking at the scores, Bodie with a fairly significant lead, 14.03. Steven van Broekhoven 6.54. So yeah, port tack for Steven needing a bit of work as we see him fly around a really nice Shaka. Beautiful. That's
That
his port
one
tack
was
score going
beautiful.
up there.
Oh yeah, that one was very, very beautiful. I mean, there's still 7 minutes to go. There's still a lot of time for both guys to show to pull off their moves, to show their potential. And I'm sure that Steven doesn't want to give away anything, you know. He's not making it easy for Bodie.
No, absolutely. No, it's still anyone's game. You know, we're only a third of the way through the heat, so there's still plenty to go. You know, you can see within a minute, even 2 minutes, everything can change very, very quickly. So it's worth knowing they are only allowed to do one move each tack. Nice Kono there from Bodie, but he will go down.
Wow.
Sail goes down into the water.
Yeah.
Steven. Wow, sick Kono there from Steven van Broekhoven. Fully brought the board back under him, but really inverted style there. It's just crazy that they're doing these moves with a foil under their board.
I mean,
but,
that
so
one,
consistent. I don't think Steven...
that one was just so
I
clean.
don't
I
think
mean,
he's
did you
fallen in
see
yet.
how clean that was?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's even fallen in yet.
No, exactly. Still dry hair, everything dry, and just pulling it off. But still, we can see... Oh, yeah. Okay, now we can see Bodie going on the outside again. Breezy, cruisy, going into switch.
Yeah, so Bodie, another one, kind of got, he does a lot of things both sides. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he's brought that into the foil style as well. But looks very comfortable in switching, on the foil. He's not kind of dipping down too much or anything, just showcasing that he's got all that control. So he ducks the sail there. What's he got for us? I didn't like it. So opts to jibe round. Steven van Broekhoven with a really comfortable lead now. And there's the back loop from Steven.
Oh, yeah.
Will he be able to water start out? Oh, the wind's light, but he will water start out. So, he will see the points go down quite significantly because of the landing, but it will still be a scoring move. It's worth noting as well, Greta, it is the top two moves. So the best two moves on each side that will be scored.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's what will make up the heat score. So it's your best 2 moves on port tack, your best 2 moves on starboard tack. So Steven van Broekhoven currently with a heat score of 18.89, Bodie Kempen at 6.7. So yeah, got a bit of work to do to catch up with Steven van Broekhoven. But hey, if you're gonna go up against anyone, Steven, the most successful European freestyler of all time, it's not an easy draw.
No, definitely not. And I mean, Steven has so much experience in competing, I mean, we don't want to say older riders, but definitely one of the most experienced one. And he's just on point when he has to be. He learned that over the years, and he's here for Foilstyle mainly. So this is what we can clearly see now.
Yeah, absolutely. Steven in switch. What's he got? He's already done the air funnel, and there's the burner. Really nice burner there. So high. You get so much speed, and it looked like he was almost going to dip in, but there's just so much competition experience for Steven. Like he's so quick at managing to just get himself back over the top of his board and land everything. He really stomps everything. So yeah, great to see from Steven that he's got the skills.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, he seems just so comfortable on the foil, So comfortable on the foil. He makes it looks very, very effortless despite his size and everything, So really, really cool to see, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Steven is a big guy, but we saw just there Bodie Kempen managing to land a nice burner on the outside as well, so he'll be happy with that. Steven with a really big Pasco there. Oh, that was so sick.
Oof,
you see him just
nice
hit that,
one.
That little bit of chop from upwind, but yeah, huge Pasco there. Steven really showcasing what's happening here. Here's the replay of Bodie Kempen's burner. So a bit slow at the end, but managing to land dry. Got a bit of height on that thing. He'll be stoked with that one.
I mean, honestly, in my opinion, it always looks so radical when they throw the foil like completely out of the air, and around their body. Like seeing this huge thing attached to the board, it always looks very, very radical, I believe. Especially for people who don't know anything about foiling, it's pretty spectacular every time.
100%. Yeah. It's like defying gravity. You look at it, it looks heavy. You're like, how are they doing this? But it just swings round, and sometimes the swing of the foil almost makes the moves look cooler. Cabby!
Exactly.
Oh, we've not seen that before. Oh my God! Kabaguchi on the foil. I'm pretty sure we haven't seen that before. Maybe, or definitely not in competition. We certainly didn't see it last year here in Vieste. So. Steven's going to be really, really stoked with that one. I can't even begin to imagine how difficult that is to be able to bring a foil board back underneath you like that and then kind of do that sort of Spock rotation out of it. That was crazy. We are into it now, Greta. Let me tell you.
Definitely. And I mean, Steven is building up even more points. We are on a 20.19 right now, going into the last 1.5 minutes of this heat. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Bodie, but Steven was really, really performing well in this one. I mean, he looked so, just comfortable, just enjoying it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's been waiting for this for the last few days, at the event. And from what I gather, I think he has been spending quite a bit of time on the foil, chatting to him in Geneva last year, one of the things he talked about, it's something new for him. He's been in this game for so long. So actually to have something new come along is quite exciting for him. I think you can definitely see that it's kind of lit a bit of a fire under him. Replay of that Pasco, that was so sick. And I think, is this the cabbie? Yeah, bringing it back underneath him. Almost like slid on the foil. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, amazing.
That's another one I'm going to be watching a lot of times.
Yeah, amazing. I think, there's not much to add. Let's wait for the last seconds of the heat and the horn getting started from the judges. But I think so far Steven had an amazing start of this competition, and he told me that he's actually mainly training on Foilstyle now. And as you say, something new is always exciting. It's always firing up.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it definitely shows. He's on absolute fire at the moment as we see him. 10 seconds to go, ducking the sail in switch. What's he got? Big one-handed air funnel.
Oh, wow.
That was a much better air funnel. That was definitely a better air funnel than the last one. As we are now at the end of this heat, that is the horn. Steven van Broekhoven will advance over Bodie. Bodie also putting in a great effort, but Steven looking on unstoppable form. So yeah,
Oh
Steven
my
van
God.
Broekhoven will be the winner of Heat 9. He will be going straight through into the start of round 3, Heat 13. So next up, we are not stopping, Greta. We are getting straight into the next heat, and that is Tigo Core up against Mr. Leonard Neuer. Money on
Oh
Greta. Talk me through
yeah.
it.
That's also a very, very exciting one coming up. I mean, yeah, I mean, Leonard actually being one of the foil ambassadors, that's for sure. Well, foil ambassadors. Actually, Leonard is an ambassador for everything, for all disciplines, because he's just good in all of them. But yeah, I mean, he was one of the first ones really going into foil style, also competing last year here in it. And he was also training a lot during the last year, a lot during winter. And you just mentioned this foil trip of the boys to Bonaire. So let's see. And I mean, yeah, I can't really tell who will get that one. It's a tricky one. I mean, all chances are open.
100%, yeah. Oh, I didn't see that air bob earlier on. Yeah, baby, that's what we like. Bodie Kemper going for that air bob, but he kind of went down. But yeah, it's really cool to see a different variation of moves. We're seeing Kabakuchis, this huge Pasco from Steven. Obviously, the Pasco was really the point of difference for Yentel last year in the foil style compared to so many of the other riders. There's that Kabakuchi. I'm really excited to see potentially more of the riders as we get through this, doing some of these different moves that we're so used to seeing. A couple of years ago, it was basically just burners, maybe shakas as well. That was all we were really seeing on the foil. So to be seeing all these different freestyle moves is absolutely awesome. I mean, look at that breakdown of the heat there on Steven's side. Pasco, back loop, shaka, back loop, kono, shaka, kulo, kabakuchi, burner, kono, air funnel. I mean, we're used to seeing
Amazing.
that wouldn't. Yeah, that wouldn't look out of place for like his heat score. Somewhere really, really windy on the fin, with waves. That would look
Yeah.
completely normal. So for him to be doing this in like 11 or 12 knots on a foil, it's just crazy. And it's an absolute pleasure to watch. And I think it's a real cool sign of what's to come within within the sport.
I mean, putting so much variety in a foil style heat, it's really, wow, chapeau, Steven, because that was, and I mean, the level so high of every single move. Perfect landing. So, yeah, great one. Talking about that, we're going into the next great heat number 10. Tigo Court versus Mr. Leonard Neubauer. Last couple of seconds on, and we're starting the heat any second soon. Here we go. Here was the horn, and we're ready up, and we're on fire with heat number 10, Tigo versus Leonard.
Tigo versus Leonard Neubauer. I'm excited for this one. Let's wait and see. I mean, it's so difficult to put your money on anyone because I know that Tigo's got all the moves as well. Naturally you think, oh well, Leonard, has probably got this one, but Tigo is also on fire. Tigo is on the left-hand side of your screen, on the orange and purple Neo Pride. Leonard Neubauer on the right-hand side on the Severn with the starboard board. You just need to look for the Red Bull sticker and every sticker. I'm surprised Leonard can even see through his sail at the moment. The amount of stickers he's got.
Exactly, that's what I mentioned the other day. How is he even able to look through his sail? Coming in, Leonard now on the big screen in switch, coming on the inside of the bay. Let's see what we get. Ducking the sail. Ooh.
Yeah, nice burner there.
Nice one. Very clean, very well landed, directly on top of the board, above the foil. Very well. And we're seeing the first points coming in. Tigo also coming on the insides.
Yeah, let's see what Tigo's got for us. I'm predicting maybe a Kulo, but let's wait and see. And yeah, there's the Kulo. Flip the sail. Look at that. So clean. That's what we love.
So much grace.
Let's see what Leonard's got for us. Wow, Pasco of his own, but he will go down at the end. It looks like he'll probably water start out, but not what he wanted at all. We just saw Steven in the previous heat boshing one of those out and just so clean. So yeah, Leonard definitely looking to replicate that, but just sort of struggling a little bit there.
Yeah, but I have to say, in overall, I believe that the wind is a little bit more stable because the guys don't have any difficulties to go up on the foil. They're actually cruising. I think it's getting better. It's improving.
Yes, it definitely looks like it's picked up a little bit. It definitely looks like there's a bit more chop on the water, which usually is a good sign for there's a bit more wind coming. I know it's quite a grey day, as you said, Greta, so it is hard to see, the white caps and get a sense of how windy it is. But certainly looking at it now, it definitely looks windier than it did earlier on. Looks like there's a bit more breeze on the water as we see Leonard Neubauer in switch. What's he got for us? He's already done the burner. I think we're going to see the air funnel. And there it is. Really nice air funnel there. Stomps it, just comes straight round.
Perfect landing again. Very, very elegant. Beautifully landed.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we've got Tigo Court. So he's already done the Kulo. I think we're potentially going to see the Kono maybe. Oh no, a Shaka. Nice Shaka there from Tigo.
Was high one, huh? Nice.
Yeah, really nice, really floaty, and kind of just whipped himself right round at the end there. Yeah, that will add nicely to his heat score.
Yeah, it looked very, very playful,
So, yeah,
I have
Leonard,
to say.
Absolutely, yeah. Leonard Neubauer currently in the lead, 16.6 points. Tigo Court trailing a little bit of work to do. So yeah, but it's still very much anyone's heat. We're only a third of the way through.
Exactly, and we continue. So let's see. I mean, it's such a pity that today with this gray weather, unfortunately with the drone shot, we can't see the amazing watercolors. But anyway, we're here to watch the riders and not the watercolors, but still it would have been a nice cherry on top, let's say.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see Tigo in switch there. Going past, but we are following Leonard Neubauer on his way in. So he's already done the burner and the air funnel on this tack, on starboard tack, so with the right hand forward. So yeah, let's wait and see what he's got here. But he will just jibe. To be honest, looking at it, well, he's got quite a good heat score on both, really. But yeah, it is his port tack that needs the most amount of improvement. So what he's doing now, Tigo Court ducking the sail out the back. What's he got for us? Nice burner there.
Nice one. Oof, that was very nice.
Yeah.
Very clean.
Leonard Neubauer ducking. Wow, big culo there going out.
Answering straight away.
These guys are putting so many moves down. And something's really interesting to look at compared to last year is last year so many of the guys were kind of doing like what I was saying earlier, like the downwind 360 or the upwind 360 into that backwinded position. But what they're doing now, all of them are like stepping into switch and then ducking the sail. That all of them have learned to like do that. That's a real point of difference that I'm noticing from last year compared to this year with the Foilstyle. They are all kind of there's no like kind of shortcuts that they were potentially taking last year as they were kind of finding their feet a bit. Everyone feels like they're a lot more established within this discipline, which is really awesome to see. And as I said earlier, a sign of what's to come, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, most of the riders.
As I say that, he does the upward burner.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, all of the riders who are competing in Foilstyle now, they really did put some hours into the training of it, They're all here for a reason. They're all here because they're taking it seriously. And it's one of the disciplines which just got so established within the last year.
Leonard Neubauer with a nice Pasco there. A little bit cleaner than his last one. So that has increased his port tack score. So now, within a minute or two, his port tack score is now higher than his starboard tack. I said, yeah, his port tack was what he needed to work on. Well, not anymore. Now he can get to work on that starboard tack. So as I said, it is the best 2 moves on each side to count out of 10 attempts. Works. And as we see Tigo stepping into switch.
Yes, exactly.
What's he got for us? He's already done the burner.
We still have almost 4 minutes to go. Tigo seems to catch up a little bit. Woo! Oh, nice one.
Yeah, nice Scopu there from Tigo. And Leonard with a crazy one-handed burner there. Oh, I love those ones. One-handed burners look so sick. And it's just, especially when they go like that, almost like the whole thing happens in the air and then they just come down, land the thing 540. That was really, really sick. I think that'll definitely increase his starboard tack score. So that will probably replace the burner that he did earlier on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, have a look at the score already. Leonard is still at 19.7, but Tigo catched up so much with 17.24 right now. So it's getting closer and closer, and nothing is lost yet for Tigo. So still 3 minutes to go in this heat.
Yeah. Oh, shifty from Leonard Neubauer. Woo! That was so sick. And that's what I was talking about earlier, that shifty rotation. He just managed to make them look so easy in the Bonaire clips that he was putting up. And now he's managed to put it together in competition as we see Tigo trying to water start out of a Kono. But yeah, I think that will... It's not ideal, really. You know, it's going to affect his scoring quite a lot, that landing. But yeah, whoa, that shifty from Leonard Neubauer. Now that has put him straight up. His port tax score now 13.28, so 22.01 overall heat score. Highest heat score we've seen of the day so far. I know obviously we're only 3 heats in, but definitely still really, really impressive from Leonard Neubauer. The level is just going through the roof here as we see him ducking the sailing switch. What's he got? Going for the Skopu. It's what he won the toe in with earlier, but no joy with the foil under his board. He will go down.
I mean, it seems like the guys are just, Tigo is doing a move, Leonard is answering straight away. Leonard is doing a move, Tigo is answering with one straight away. They're not just, they're not giving nothing to each other, No, yeah.
No, absolutely. There's no quarter given. In this, it's like what we were saying yesterday. It is a real freestyle family, and everyone's so happy to see each other, and there's a real stoke in the air. Everyone's so happy to be here and things. But I think as soon as you get on the water, and as soon as that person is against you in a heat, it's every person for themselves.
Yeah, definitely. Then everyone gets focused on his own performance. That's what really matters in that moment, nothing else. And then afterwards at the beach, we're friends again and a big family, as you say. So we see Tigo coming in, approaching the beach. 1 last minute to go. What do we get? A ducky. A nice ducky and continuing in switch. All right, last 45 seconds. Heat is almost on. We see Tigo just going down on the outsides.
Yeah, Tigo going down on that air funnel there. Just didn't quite manage to get the pop that he wanted. 30 seconds left of this heat. Leonard Neubauer, Tigo actually putting together a really great heat score, 17.06. That's, against quite a few other people, that would probably get him through into the next round. But up against Leonard Neubauer, who is just on unstoppable form at the moment. 23.37. That port tax score coming in at 14.64. Just immense, heat scores going in. He's going to be really stoked with that. And that is the end of that heat. Tigo just popping in another shaka just because it's fun.
Exactly. So here we go. Leonard Neubauer advancing with 23.37 points versus Tigo. Tigo did an amazing show. He pulled off a really, really nice performance. And as you say, sometimes it's just a little bit unlucky who you're actually facing in your heat. Because maybe you're putting together an amazing heat with a really high score, but maybe the score is just not enough to face that other rider in that moment. Versus if you would have been in another elimination with that score, you would have been advancing to the next one. So it really sometimes also depends with a little bit on luck who you're actually facing.
100%, Greta. You can put the best heat together of your life, but if your competitor also has the best heat of their life, there's nothing you can do about that. So it's a bit like what Leonard was saying. It's a bit like what Leonard was saying earlier, having that mindset of not paying too much attention to what anyone else is doing, just focusing on yourself. And ultimately, even if you lose, you can turn around at the end of it and go, well, actually, I did the best I could and I'm proud of myself. And I think Tigo can definitely do that after that heat. He put in a really, really great performance. Put down some really, really nice move. And it's cool to look back on his performance last year compared to this and just see such a huge amount of improvement. And I think ultimately that's what we all want as windsurfers, don't we? If we can look back on, or even a few months back and be like, I've got a bit better on the water. I think that's a really nice feeling. So yeah, he definitely shouldn't be too frustrated. And hey, hopefully we're going to be able to run a double elimination as well, so he'll get another chance to fight back and get himself up there.
I mean, the ultimate goal, I believe, is always to be the best windsurfer we can be, you know? As you say, being a little bit better than
100%.
yesterday, that makes us the best windsurfer, the best windsurf version of ourselves. So step by step, always a little
Love
bit
that.
better, and that's the main goal. All right, said this. Let's go into the next one. Next one up, Jamie Howard versus Tim Curtis. We saw both of them earlier this morning already in the tow-in finals. Jamie actually being pretty warmed up, I would say, because he finished second. And yeah, that's going to be a very, very exciting one as well, because Tim is one of the young Brouwersdam boys. Jamie coming from the UK, having his own style and improving also so much throughout all the disciplines within the last years. So very exciting, that one. I really, really can't tell who could be a little bit better in that one. Honestly, really hard to tell.
Yeah, it is a really hard one. You know, looking at it like, you know, obviously I've been saying throughout the day, you know, I've got to be Team Jamie a little bit. You know, he's one of my countrymen. We kind of grew up together, you know, like windsurfing, and you know, did spent a lot of time working together, teaching windsurfing and things like that. But Tim last year put in such an incredible performance and surprised a lot of people, and I think he's probably only improved this year. So I'm really excited to see what Tim's going to bring to the table. As we see Jamie Howard open with a really nice shaka there. Tim on the white and red Severn Foil Freak. We can see him on your screen now, stepping into switch. Let's see what he's got for us. Jamie Howard already putting some scores down with that shaka, a 3.42. Tim ducking the sail. And there's a nice one-handed burner there from Tim. Looks so chill. Made
Nice
that look so
one.
easy.
Very nice opener. I mean, the heat is on, and we have 9.5 minutes to go and to see what the rider are giving us. So as said, first points are coming in, and we see Jamie going for next one.
Yeah, Jamie with another nice burner as well, answering with a burner of his own. Let's wait
Exactly.
and see what the scores are going to come in at.
All right. Then we see Tim cruising on the outside. Seems breezy. Seems almost breezy like this.
Yeah, it definitely looks like the wind has picked up. The water is a lot choppier than it was in the first one. Jamie with a nice culo there. Nice culo on port tack, so that will add to his port tack score. Currently, yeah, he's got the shaka as well.
That one was
So yeah,
very
he will add a
cleanly
culo
landed.
there.
Nice one,
100%,
nice one.
yeah, really nice. Tim also with a culo. A little replay there. Oh, gets a little bit caught there on the front hand, but manages to hold on, and he will sail away as well.
Oh, I really like this angle. Look at this. Look at this. When you see the water in the first place and then you see the rider a little bit behind, I love that angle. So beautiful.
Yeah, we're very, very lucky to be experiencing the action here as we see Jamie Howard in switch. What's he got for us? Yeah, this gives you a really good sense of like them kind of flying above the water on the foils. As we see him ducking the sail, what's he got for us? Are we going to see a Skopu? Like a
almost.
switch kono, but like a proper one. Tim ducking the sail. There's the air funnel. Wow, really whippy air funnel there from Tim Gerdes.
Oh, yes. We're adding up the points. We're adding up the point. Also, these two boys, they're not giving anything away to each other. Huh? Answering straight away with another move to each other's moves.
Literally, yeah, they are answering each other, and that's what we like to see. So Jamie ducking the sail again. He's already got the culo. Are we going to see a kono? Oh, kono, but he does the old salmon, the pole vault.
Lost the gear, but I think he's okay. All right, so let's have a little look at the score. I mean, we're at 7 minutes, still 7 minutes to go. Jamie Howard leading at the moment, but it's still very tight. Oh, look at that nice replay from Tim.
Yeah, nice Pasco there. Gets a bit caught at the end, but he will manage to sail away from it. That will be a real point of difference. We saw it last year. You know, Yentel was basically the only guy doing that last year, and it made such a difference in his heats. You know, he found himself just advancing through against everyone. So it's going to be really interesting to see. Now, a lot of the other guys have learned it, how that will affect the rankings once we get to the end of this elimination.
All right, then we have Tim coming on the inside, going in switch. Let's see what we get next. Oh yes, just in front, just in front of Jamie. Like, buddy, look at me. I think it was a Scopo attempt.
Yeah, I mean,
but went down at the end.
Yeah, Scopo attempt. Exactly, yeah, Scopo attempt. So yeah, you can see he gets the lift there, but as he comes down, like something kind of weird happens with the board. You know, the board didn't come down into the wind. The nose actually ended up going downwind. Same thing happened to Jamie, really interestingly. I mean, he managed to almost save it and do a kind of a proper switch kono where you like flip the sail. But yeah, you know, very strange that seems to be happening to both of them. As we see Jamie going upwind, going for that upwind burner, and he will come round. Oh, strange one. He could have flipped the sail there. But yeah, that will be another scoring move on the board for Jamie Howard. Looks like Tim currently leading with 18.46, but Jamie not far behind, 15.82.
Yeah, they're quite close.
See, you know,
they're quite close.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's only a couple of points in it on each side, each tack. You know, to starboard even closer. 1.5 points difference between the two of them. So yeah, there is a little bit of work to do for Jamie. But yeah, you know, if he can get a couple more points, a couple more moves down, there's no reason why we can't see that being replaced. But as I said at the start, you know, Tim, he was such a standout last year here in the foil style, so it's no surprise to see taking some scalps this year, you know, because he's improved on his skills so much.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 4.5 minutes still to go. Jamie going down here on the insides. But still, everything is open. Everything is open. The guys are quite close. And I mean, I would say they're almost at the same level. So it's a very, very interesting heat. Very, very close one. But that's also what we like to see, you know, when it's a little bit exciting and we can't really predict what is going to happen.
Exactly. It's still anyone's game, you know, and you know, for 4 minutes. So there's still 4 minutes left of this heat. Tim ducking in switch, but yeah. Oh yeah, he has back foot out the strap. I think he was just showing off there. Just a little kind of duck tack to bring it round. Some old school freestyle. That's what we love to see. Yeah, Jamie pumping up onto the pit. I think Jamie's biggest sail is a 4.8. So I would say that's what he's on. So that goes to show, you know, earlier on, obviously Jamie is a lighter rider, but the wind has definitely picked up, and hopefully it will only continue to pick up. I mean, it's only just gone 3 p.m. local time, so hopefully that thermal wind is in full effect, and we have another few hours of good wind so that we can get through this foil style and bring you all of the action. Oh, Jamie getting a bit caught there.
Oh yeah, I think he had a little bit of a moment there, saved it, and is still going on the run, going on the outsides. 3 minutes to go, but yeah, as you said, Sandy, I mean, the wind is definitely improving, and that's exactly what the forecast predicted. Improvement within this afternoon, and tomorrow actually the big bang with the amazing forecast of about 15 to 20 knots, and hopefully we will be able to get some normal classic freestyle in tomorrow. So yeah, hopefully we can finish this one today. What would be amazing to finish off the foil style, the second discipline of this event, to go fully into freestyle tomorrow.
I mean, yeah, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? You know, we finished the tow in today, then we do the foil style, and then tomorrow it's all about the fin. Oh, as we see Tim going down on a jibe there, managed to kind of breach the foil. I'm sure anyone out there that's practiced a bit of foiling before will know that feeling of the front wing kind of leaving the water and suddenly you just completely stop. But yeah, Tim kind of, you know, misjudging it a little bit there. As you said, it is getting a bit choppier.
Yeah, and I mean, everybody who ever tried foiling knows how hard it is. The jibing part doesn't matter if it's a normal jibe, a duck jibe, whatever. And this moment when your foil loses the contact with the water and you just fall down. Oh my God, that feeling. Oof.
Yeah, exactly. As we see Jamie Howard, he's got a nice bit of speed. Beautiful views there. There's the bit of chop. Oh, he didn't like it. He kind of maybe mistimed the pop there, but you could see he was heading towards what looked like a nice little ramp there, you know, for that kind of upwind burner sort of Pasco rotation. But yeah, didn't like it, and often sometimes that's better, you know, just turn around, let's go round and we'll try again, rather than thinking, right, I'll try and force it, because you don't want to hurt yourself at the end of the day.
Exactly, that's what we already said earlier in the tow-in. I mean, sometimes it's just better to give it another try instead of forcing something weird, getting stuck into the foot strap and doing something, yeah, that in the end could be hurting yourself, to be honest. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So interesting news as well coming from the judges. So Emmy, the head judge, he has just announced that going into the next round, so we've got this heat, and then we have Yentel up against George Grisley. That will be heat 12, so that will be the last heat of round 2. And then going up into the semis and into the finals, it will be 3 moves to count on each side, not 2. Obviously, you know, the judges have taken into account that a lot of the riders are doing so many moves. So they have decided to, you know, up it a little bit, and it will be the best 3 moves to count rather than the best 2 moves. So yeah, that will be reflected in the heat scores. If you'll be wondering, hang on a minute, why are the heat scores suddenly so much higher? And that is why.
Yeah, interesting one. Good to know. All right, we're going into the last 30 seconds of this heat. Tim is leading still with 18.46. Jamie very, very close. It's a tight one with 15.78. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if he's able to pull it around. Going down there, I think on the last move on the outside.
Yeah, it goes down. I think it was the burner. It looked like he kind of just didn't quite get the pop, so it came out the straps. You know, really, really close heat here. But it does look like it will be Tim that will be getting away with it. And that's the horn there.
That's it for
so
heat.
That will be
heat finish, Tim versus Jamie. Yeah, congratulations, Tim, advancing into the next heat. And we're done with round number 2, as you just said.
Yeah, absolutely. So that will be Tim Gerdes heading through into the next round. So the last heat of round 2 coming up now, and that is Yentel versus George Grisley. Yeah, George got his work cut out for him here. Yentel, a real standout last year, you know, was the only rider doing the kind of Pascos and all these different moves. Obviously, that has changed a bit now. You know, we're seeing a lot more variation in terms of the moves, so kind of across the board, all the riders doing different things. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how they're mixing it up against Yentel Cares. But yeah, George Grisley's still fairly new to the foil style. I know he's also nursing a bit of an injury, so he's probably not going to be too happy with this draw that he's got coming up against him. But I'm sure, you know, he's a sender, and I'm sure he'll probably be excited actually to get out. The conditions have picked up quite a bit since his first heat. So I would say he's going to be quite excited to get out there and really enjoy the foil style in the stronger wind.
Definitely. I mean, that's what we're here for, to go out on the water no matter what, no matter which condition. I mean, obviously, the conditions has to allow it at least a little bit. But the guys are all on fire. They all want it so badly. And it's just amazing to be out there and finally being able to perform one of the 3 disciplines. You know, I mean, we finished off the towing this morning. Now we're on the way with Foilstyle. And hopefully tomorrow with the freestyle. So yeah, no, it's amazing. It's amazing to see the guys out there, to show what they're able to do, to impress us, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it may not be the same as the towing, but it is still all about the show. And that's what
exactly.
we love to see. Check out some of the replays here. You know, the guy's having a bit of trouble with the Scopus there. Jamie Howard with that nice upwind burner there. Tim, there's the Pasco, but he will go down at the end. What's Jamie got for us? Again, yeah, the Switch Kono definitely struggling with trying to land the Scopus today. You know, both of the boys, you know, it's definitely proving to be a bit of a point of contention. You know, that move's definitely quite difficult. And then you've got Steven van Bronckhorst doing the Kabakuchi. Jamie actually managing to stick one there, but, you know, not really getting that big sort of clean landing that he'd have ideally been looking for.
Exactly, and let's have a look at the next heat coming up. On the left-hand side, Mr. George Grisley. As said, George is quite new to foil style. He's been training a lot, but yeah, it's his first time actually competing in foil style versus Mr. Yentel Cares, one of the foil style ambassadors. That's obviously why on the left-hand side we see no stats yet from George versus Yentel, who has already quite some experience on his back. Last couple of seconds before the heat gets announced, and here we go. We can hear the horn. The judges gave it the go. And here we go. 10 minutes are on. George versus Yentel.
Yeah, Yentel Cares there up on your screen in the yellow jersey. The tour leader from last year in the foil style. Ducking the sail. What's he got for us? Starting off with a nice air funnel. Making it look easy.
That one was so effortless. I think he did it with his eyes closed. I think he did it with his eyes closed.
Yeah, he made that look all too easy. All too easy. So 3.95 coming through. Good way to start the heat. And then we've got George Grisley on the screen now on the black and red duotone sail. Let's see what he's got for us. Wow,
Oh,
big
yeah.
shaka there from
Big
George.
shaka to start it off. I mean, we had a little improvement for Yentel actually, 4.16. First scores coming in also for George. And yeah, for everybody wondering, I mean, foil style, it's true that you need not a lot of wind for this discipline, but as you can see, the riders, it is still a very active, proactive discipline, you know. I mean, getting the foil out, you need to pump a little bit, you need to position yourself well to be able to pull off the trick. So it is still quite a proactive discipline.
100% there. Nice culo there from Yentel Cares. George Grisley pumping, trying to keep himself up and going. George, kind of one of the larger riders on tour. He needs a bit of wind. I'd love to know what Yentel's on, but I know he does use the 5.2 a lot. He was on the 5.2 most of the event last year, so it wouldn't surprise me if he's still on that. We can see Stephen sailing along in the background. He's most definitely on 5.2, very much a big sail rider. So yeah, I think it's important that you've got that bigger sail for when the wind gets quite light. As we take a look at the replay of George's move, there's that big shaka there, really, really sick one, full nose down, really nice style on that.
This was one of the shakas you've been talking about earlier, right?
100%. Yeah, exactly. You're really getting as much clearance as you can on the foil. Kind of full bringing the nose down. It's what we like. Good style on it.
Definitely. All right, let's see what we get next. George still trying to get up the foil again. Let's see if he can manage. Actually, also Yentel is looking for the next gust at the moment. Yeah, it looks like both of them are positioned a little bit in a windless patch, you know. I mean, I'm looking out of the booth, and both of the riders are still looking to get up the foil again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, potentially just a lull in the wind. Hopefully, just like a kind of a small, 30 seconds or so, and then they will be back up and flying, because it really did look like the conditions were starting to fill in. We were in for an afternoon full of action, and hopefully that is still the case.
Exactly, and we have to take what we get. Yes. All right, we can still see Yentel on the outside, going for the next one, pumping it up. Let's have a look at the replay.
Yeah, he doesn't look super powered up, does he? I mean, really nice go there. Again, like he kind of had to work quite hard for it. It definitely does look like the wind has dropped quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, jibing on the outside. So the two riders facing each other. We just saw a jibe from Yentel on the outside, getting in again. And yeah, George is quite struggling to get up on the foil, actually.
Yeah, having a bit of bother there. Obviously, as I said, a bit of a larger rider. But I mean, Yentel's quite big as well. But again, it may just be the sail size that makes that real point of difference. As we see George ducking the sail, what's he got for us? Goes for the air funnel, but he will go down. Again, it's like carrying that enough. You need enough pop to get the foil to fully clear out of the water in order to get that full rotation. And it looked like he just didn't quite manage to get that. Yentel Cares ducking the sail. What's he got for us? Whoa, really big burner there. But
that one was nice. That one was really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I don't think that's. Yeah, that's not going to really. I don't know if that will count as a landed trick. To be honest, both feet out the straps, essentially had to like uphaul to bring it up. So yeah, I'm not too sure if that will count.
Let's see what the judges will decide. I mean, we still have 5 minutes to go on this heat. We're still halfway through. And we have Yentel with a score of 16.24 at the moment versus George 4.64. I mean, for George, obviously it's tough not getting the foil out of the water, maybe. And yeah, Yentel still has quite a big score on the paper.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for George, he managed to put a shaka down. But yeah, beyond that, he hasn't really had an opportunity to kind of showcase his skills. Looks like he's really, really struggling for power. 4.5 minutes left to go. So yeah, we are just under halfway through this heat. But yeah, it's got to be a difficult one. But again, it's such a difficult one to call, because it's like, well, should we cancel this heat then and wait for stronger winds so that George can get an attempt? But it's like, to a certain level, you're like, well, he's already managed to put down a really good move. So you're like, there is wind out there, and also, Yentel's out there, doing the move. So it's like, at what point do the judges make this decision? So yeah, it's a real tough one. Nice Shaka there from Yentel Cares. That'll add nicely to the port tack heat score.
I mean, honestly, Sandy, I'm quite happy that we don't need to make the calls here. We don't need to make the decision. It's up to the judges. So they will decide the right thing based on the conditions and seeing what the riders are able to do or not. So I'm glad this is not up to us.
100%. George there with a really nice air flacker 360. I'm not too sure if he kind of landed it and managed to sail away from it, but that may help his starboard tack score coming in. But yeah, Yentel Cares, it definitely does look like the wind has dropped. I mean, Yentel has, fully not been foiling for a little bit, and in the transitions and stuff, it is taking them both longer to get up and going. Whereas we've seen the last few heats, the guys have just been up and going basically all the time. So yeah, I would say the wind has definitely dropped down there, but yeah, it's still a difficult one to call. It still looks like contestable conditions to me from here, but I appreciate, yeah, as you said, it's good that we don't have to make these decisions.
Exactly. I mean, what I can see, George is still missing points on the port tack actually, so which is obviously putting him in disadvantage. I mean, we still have 0 on that one versus Yentel, who was at 10.94. So, yeah, I mean, Yentel is also one of the very proactive riders. Look how he was pumping now during his whole way to come in. Okay, but also ending with a jibe and going on the outside again now.
Yeah, it has for sure dropped. But like you said, proactive is the word. You've got to work hard for this in these kind of lighter wind conditions. You're always pumping the sail, you're always pumping the foil as well, trying to keep yourself up and flying. Eventually, you see a bit of chop, you see a ramp, and you're going to work hard to try and maximise all those opportunities. I'm not saying that's not what George is doing at all. If you can't get going, you can't get going. You can only work so hard before you actually need the conditions to kind of play ball as well. But yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, after this, the next heat, we are going into round 3, and that will be Steven van Broekhoven against Leonard Neubauer. So a really big heat after this. Yeah, I'm very, very excited for that one. But it'll be interesting to see what the judges do, whether they want to decide they want to wait for a little bit because of the wind.
Whoa! Oh my God, Yentel. I mean, I didn't see it too good because it was a bit down in the corner, but did he land it? No, not really, yeah?
No, he's not landed it, sadly. Yeah, he just dropped the sail in there. But yeah, that was a really sick back loop. It was almost like a push loop. He just went kind of all the way around, but it didn't look like he actually pushed the sail out at all. He somehow managed to get enough height to just go all the way.
Let's have a look at the replay. Oh, cool. Yeah. Almost. Yeah, there was not a lot missing. There was not a lot missing, actually. Almost. Look at it. He just really went down at the very end because he didn't have any power anymore. But nice one. Really, really radical attempt,
Really radical. Yeah, there's a really cool style on that. Kind of it's difficult because sometimes with those kind of back loops and stuff, they turn into we call them donuts, where it's almost like a sideways rotation rather than an actual backflip kind of thing. But that one was definitely really, really inverted. I thought it looked really cool.
Yeah, definitely. Super radical one.
Yeah, absolutely. It really does look like the wind has dropped now. Looking at this definite kind of shimmer on the water that we weren't seeing before. It'll be interesting to see what the judges are thinking. You can see Steven van Broekhoven looking back to the shore, potentially looking to try and communicate either with some of the judging crew or with some of the other riders, to sort of let them know what the conditions are like out there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they both look a bit... we can see some big question marks in the faces out there. Coming in. 4 more seconds. Let's see what we get.
Yeah, so that is the end of that heat. So Yentel Cares will be advancing through into the next round. So he will be going up into heat 14 up against Tim Gerdes. So going into round 3, there are 4 left. So we have Steven van Broekhoven up against Leonard Neubauer, and then we have Tim Gerdes going up against Yentel Cares. So the winners of those heats will go up into the winners' final. That will determine who is in first and second.
Exactly,
and that will complete the men's single elimination.
And I mean, you just said some big boys are coming up, literally, not only in terms of body size, but also in terms of skills and level, obviously. It's getting, it's getting more and more exciting. when you're going versus via, I mean, in the direction of the finals, it's getting more and more exciting in every round.
100%. You know, it only just raises the stakes, and it only just means that we're seeing the riders that are performing the best today. So we're just going to see more of those moves. So far, I've got to say, my standout has been Steve van Broekhoven today. You know, some of the moves he's been putting down, you know, seeing the innovation, Pacucci, and he's just on fire. I don't think it's been the highest heat score of the day, but I think just, you know, the move, that and Leonard Neubauer's shifty, I think is just like, it's so epic to see those kind of moves being put down with the foil under their boards. Yeah, it's a really exciting direction for where this discipline is going. I think, yeah, interesting. You know, we're just going to wait and see what they're thinking. You know, you can see the riders out there. That wind has completely dropped. So let's wait and see. This is the next match. So Steven van Broekhoven, Leonard Neubauer. I mean, it's the glaring thing, but let's take a look at the difference in age there. You know, Steven van Broekhoven, 38 years old, and still mixing it up. You know, by no means is he old at all, but, you know, it just shows how long he has been in the game. Leonard Neubauer, 20 years old, still at the very much the start of his career. Average heat score, 20.33. So Steven, in every sense of the word, has the edge here. He's got the higher average heat score, higher scoring move, higher heat score. So, you know, he should have the edge here. Greta, I feel like I just heard a couple of horns there. Do we know what's going on? Are they postponing, or are they going straight into the heat?
To be honest, I am not really sure. I heard also a horn, but it seems like they're giving it a try. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I mean, there is still the 23 seconds of heat transition is still on. So let's see. Let's wait for another communication of the judges. But yeah, Sandy,
yeah. So I've just had confirmation. Yeah, I've just had confirmation through. The AP flag is up. So that red and white flag, that is the AP flag up. So the wind has completely dropped. As you can see, that flag is, well, it's just moved there as I say that, but it is barely moving. So it looks like the wind has completely dropped. Really crazy how quickly that came in and then just disappeared there. But, you know, it does mean that we have managed to get all the way through to the end of round 2. So next up, it is just 3 more heats. So round 3, which is heat 13 and 14. And then the winners of that will go through to the winners' final, which will determine first and second place. And then I think it will be done on heat scores to determine third and fourth place for the end of this single elimination. So as you can see, AP flag is up. I'm not too sure what the plan is, whether we will go on hold for a little bit. But yeah, you know, that wind has dropped off. I mean, looking at the event site there, it does look like the flags have suddenly picked back up again. So it may just be that it's a bit of a lull for kind of 5-10 minutes. And hopefully we will be able to get back up and running and get a result for this single elimination of the Foilstyle here in Vieste.
Exactly, that is what we're hoping for. I mean, we have seen this throughout the last days. Unfortunately, we have to say, also the other days when we have started with the Foilstyle eliminations, we got this moment where the wind was there, then it was gone, then it was back again. So it's playing a little bit cat and mouse with us. But we're here, we're ready to go, and let's see what the conditions will take. I mean, maybe the wind is just taking a little break and then fully improving until tomorrow. You know what I mean? Could be also the case. You can't really tell, but it was a little bit like this during the whole last day. So I'm not too surprised, to be honest. But yeah, we're actually at a very good point, as you say. I mean, we were able to continue with the Foilstyle. And I mean, so far the day has been filled with a lot of action. The tow-in in the morning, now the Foilstyle straight away, and it's only 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon here in Italy. So there is still a long way to go, and the day is by far not finished yet.
No, absolutely, yeah. You know, fingers crossed. I mean, as you said, if we could get the Foilstyle today, you know, if the wind could fill in, and we can at least get through that would be awesome, because then all eyes tomorrow turn to the Finn, and it just guarantees us a chance of being able to get a result, you know, on the last day of the event. You know, as you said, that forecast is looking good for tomorrow, you know, for that thermal direction to come in. So yeah, I think we are going to be seeing some exciting action. But yeah, we've already had some great action today. You know, the tow in this morning, and then into that. I think, you know, for me, today has been a day of innovation. I think that's been something that is a real point of a point for us to discuss. You know, is how far these disciplines have come in the last few years. Looking at the toe in this morning and seeing the different moves we were seeing. Like a Skopu 360, Air Skopu 360. Winning. Jamie Howard Skopu as well. All these kind of different moves. Fivos's Calabrava. Yesterday as seeing all those different moves and then combining that with what we've seen in the foil style this afternoon as well, Kabakuchis, shifties, all these different moves, all the riders suddenly stepping into switch and ducking the sail rather than sort of carving upwind or downwind into it. I think it's a really, really great sign of the progression that we're seeing in freestyle windsurfing at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. And I would like to point out as well the fact that toe-in is something what the riders really appreciate, and what they told me over and over in the interviews is that they like the fact that with toe-in you can get so close to the people, to the crowds, to the audience. You're able to do it in spots, in places where otherwise you would be never able to run a windsurfing competition, no matter which discipline. And I mean, this morning showed it perfectly. We have been downtown Vieste, in the city center, in a bay where usually there is no wind, no possibility to do anything on the water, and we just pulled up this amazing show. The walkway next to the beach, it was full of people, a massive local crowd, tourists being there, local people from Vieste being there, cheering to our riders and just enjoying the show. I mean, it's been so unique, and this is what I personally really, really like about toe-in, that you're able to do it also in cities and in really unusual places for windsurfing. And this is something that makes it, in my opinion, just very, very special, the fact that you can bring it so close to people.
100%, and then more to your point, the foil style as well. It just unlocks so many more locations that don't necessarily get the strong wind required for the traditional fin freestyle. The fact that we've been able to run the majority of the competition today in like 12 knots, it'd be unheard of a few years ago. When you said we've been seeing shifties and kabakuchis and air funnels and one-handed burners and stuff, and you're like, well, yeah, but it was 12 knots, and you're like, all these guys just managed to put a foil under their board, and that's that. So I'm not too sure, but it does look like, well, looking at the elimination quickly here then, so yeah, I think we are heading through into the single elimination. So as you can see, we have made our way most of the way through. We are now into round 3. So it will be Steven van Broekhoven up against Leonard Neubauer, and then on the other side, Tim Gerdes going up against Yentel Cares. And then you've got the runners-up final and the winners' final. So the runners-up final is essentially the battle for third place. Winners' final obviously determines first and second place for the single elimination. Let's take a little look at some of the replays from the action earlier this afternoon for the
Yes,
Foilstyle.
please. Yes, please. All right. Bodie Camping coming in hot. I mean, he was definitely performing super well today. Unfortunately, it was just not enough on the score table versus Leonard Neubauer.
There's the Kawaguchi. That's been my highlight. Seeing a move like that in the foil, it's just been so impressive to see. Leonard Neubauer as well. Leonard Neubauer and Steven van Broekhoven being real standouts so far for the foil style, in my opinion. A bit of a cut above the rest, dare I say. That air funnel looks just so much pop, and then just bringing it round so clean. Tigo Court as well, putting together a really nice heat score. Just unlucky with the draw, as you said, Greta, coming up against Leonard Neubauer.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, let's be honest, they're all so skilled. The level is so incredible high. I mean, look at where we started last year, where we are 1 year later. It's just insane what the guys did during the past year and how much they improved. I mean, it's just, it's just out of this world, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what they're pulling off now, and I really can't wait to see where we're going to be all the years to come, in this event, and indeed all the other events on tour throughout the year. I think we're only going to see progression more and more. It's going to be really great. Yeah, Yentel Cares having a bit of trouble there. It's a shame he didn't really get the wind to showcase his skills as well. Like the guys did earlier on. But Greta, I think we are going to go on hold for a little bit. You know, as Emmy, the head judge, said, you know, it's the AP flag is up, the red and white flag is up. We are on hold for the moment with the competition as the wind has completely dropped. Just look at that beautiful area that we are in here, the Spiaggia Lunga. That means Long Beach.
Exactly. This you remember, right? So Spiaggia Lunga in beautiful Vieste. Spiaggia Lunga in Italian means Long Beach. I have to say Long Beach sounds very much like Miami or California, something like this. But yeah, we're here in Spiaggia Lunga. We're here in standby as of now. So please, guys, make sure don't go too far away. Stay tuned. Make sure to follow our channels, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, whatever. Stay tuned for the action. And as soon as the conditions allow, we will be back for the next eliminations of Foilstyle.